Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Bring Diaries. I'm Fiona Mboa, and with me is Sylvie Rona Tukala Ngano. And we've been talking about the effect of a conflict on the children's education. And before the break, we had how children actually come to school. One day, tell these things to their teachers, they're distracted in class, and many times you find you're fighting a child's, pretending a child is not performing, but yet you actually contributing to them. But also, I was thinking, parents, do we even know that we are adding castles to our children?
Oh, yeah.
You're fighting, you're undressing in front of your children, and these are just castles. But we're going to just continue with the conversation. How do we help these children?
How do we help the children? First of all, we should be aware that some of them are already traumatized. Actually, they're already in that process, so it has already happened. So they need to be guided and counseled because
they're already in that process. Actually, I think before we talk about how to help them, as a parent, maybe I may not even have noticed that this is happening.
Exactly.
How do I identify that my child has actually either seen part of the conflict we've gone through, or as a teacher, how do you identify because not all the children are going to lash out, and
yes.
you know that there's a problem. How do you identify that this child is going through something at home?
Sometimes you'll notice by the way they are declining academically, of course, Fiona. And sometimes they become more wild than, a child who was once calm, they become too wild. They don't settle. Because there is something that they are trying to express out, they have become so, how do I say it? Some of them become wild, others become so reserved.
So there's a change in personality.
Exactly,
really.
total change in personality. And then of course, some will become aggressive, like we said. You said that some will not show, but they're being withdrawn.
It's also a sign.
Yes, if she has been a child that is outgoing and all of a sudden they're withdrawn. We have children who are once writing so well, concentrating, but all of a sudden even the writing has stopped. She doesn't complete anything. You find that their mind is moving, their mind is all over the place, like they're not focusing. They cannot focus even on the littlest thing. A child who was getting maybe 4s before in the previous classes, all of a sudden they're declining. And then when you try to dig deep, you find that things are coming from home. As a teacher, you try and do whatever you can. You get to have this program of helping the weak learners, and you mind this child is not weak. They've been performing so well. We have children with autism. You're like, I see all of a sudden become autistic or what? Maybe not. And then you're like, so how best can I help this child? Only to realize there is an issue until a parent works together with a teacher to share what is actually happening in the family. That is when you might come to realize that there is something indeed that has happened or changed with this child.
No, but now, Rona, people may say, but when you're saying that maybe your classes are small, if I'm in a UP school and I have 100 and how many children, how will I start looking out for that one?
Well, you have to, as a teacher, you're trained to help one child at a time. Because you will not know, Fiona. You will not know. If you're going to wait for the results at the end, of course the results will also speak of a decline in how much this child is performing, or how the child is performing. And in IUP is school. Oh goodness. Somehow there is something that will give you indications. The fighting, they become so aggressive, especially the boys. They become so aggressive. They want to fight about everything, and then you ask them what is the problem. They will not even open up because they don't know what to tell you. You're not coming from my family. You don't know what I'm going through. It happens even to adults. When you're not ready to express yourself, there is a certain way that you're going to behave.
Behaving as
So
if
even
the whole world owes you an explanation.
Yes, children are full human beings, just that they're still little. Like their levels of expression are quite limited, so they will find a way of bringing it out, but they might not be able to freely express unless you give them a good person that they can trust, and then they can open up. And of course, those innocent ones that will freely share.
Yeah, those ones will come. Do you know, even before, how are you? I am fine. Do you know what mommy and daddy did?
At least that one you can easily help. But
parents, the things we know about. Parents are even suddenly, they should befriend the teacher.
And the girls, if they're adolescents, they'll stop talking.
They just go quiet.
They'll go quiet. And meanwhile, it's not that they're not talking out there, but they just become quiet in their own home, maybe. You don't know what's going on in your child's head. They are thinking and planning things. Before you know it, you hear your boy has joined a certain group of those that are taking drugs. Why? They're trying to console them, the anger that is inside. They're trying to see that it doesn't ring in their head, so they're trying to kill it with so many different things.
There's a child that I know that said, I can't wait to leave this home. As soon as I make this, I am leaving. Like, you know? So how do we help
Others
this?
will cut themselves. There are those that go beyond the extent of self-harming. They harm
To get
themselves.
attention.
Yes. In class, we have those that will scream from different corners all of a sudden. Ah! They're like, what happened? Attention seekers. They're trying to say something. Unless you give them a ear, they will continue to do so many weird things.
So
and you
because
wonder.
they're not getting this, they feel like the attention at home is lacking. They try to get it anywhere else.
And so many others. There are so many other signs, Fiona.
So how do we help these children? How do we help them? Now you've noticed that this child has an issue. How do we help them?
Me, I would just say, I'm saying that it would be very important for you, if you're lucky to realize that actually there is a change in your life, in your child's life, you should thank God immediately, because then you can mitigate.
But Rona, if you're the cause of this child's whatever they're going through, are you the right person to
You
actually?
have to seek for someone you think that child can trust again, and then they speak to them, they talk to them, they mentor them. Some people call them godfathers, godmothers, those people that you chose to, be the other parent to your child. What is the time
But do
to
we still
involve
have those
them?
people still?
I don't know.
I don't.
I
Like,
don't know.
I don't know what is happening. Actually, I feel sorry for us because at least you grew up knowing there's that uncle who can come home and will beat you, and you will even have nowhere to complain.
Exactly,
But
because
who
you
would
know
do
they
that
love
to your
you.
children right
Right now,
now?
even parents don't. Even if you just pointed at their child and the child went back and said, "Teacher pointed at me," hey, it's trouble.
Why did you point at
Why does
my
the teacher point at my child? Why does the teacher raise the voice at my child? So even the teacher who is supposed to be the other parent at school, they are
like they are made useless because of
Exactly.
the response.
yes.
So how that means us as parents have to do something about these children.
have to work together with the school. Have to work, as in openly work together with the school, so that when a teacher comes in, even you that a parent, you are aware that I assigned the school to help my child. It doesn't become something that you can sue the school up for, that they are cancelling my child. What are you talking to my child about? Because some parents, like I was said, Fiona, some parents are so secretive, and yet the children at home are already exposed to whatever it is that they're exposed to. And at school, the side effects are being noticed. But when you talk to the parent will be quick to defend
To judge,
themselves,
yes.
and they say that my child is speaking it from school. So it becomes so hard to help. But you have also good parents who will come and tell, hey, me, I'm in trouble with my wife, so my child is affected in such a way, please help. Others will just come and say, you teachers are useless, you're not helping my child at
And yet
all.
the decline is because of what is
they're going
happening
through.
at home.
So even the teacher who would have helped with gladness, because you've allowed them to trust, you've allowed them to help, they'll say,
Let's leave the
if I know they're
person's
going to be
child.
blaming me. But there is more that we can do. Let us try to build trust circles again. If you trust the school and you've entrusted them with your child, trust that they're going to do their best for your child. If they call you to come and solve such issues, come freely and be open for the sake of your child. To
We
see their way
fear to
forward.
get ashamed because of the
And
image
now
we
because
have
of
put
your
out.
fear, then your child is going to be like this for life. They're going to go the different stages of life, and then guess the kind of husband you're going to send to someone's daughter in future. And
One
a
with
very,
issues.
very aggressive. He has no manners, no good behavior. They have tantrum issues because of the unresolved problems at home, or whatever I grew up seeing. If you've not nurtured him to see that in a family we are supposed to be loving and caring, we are supposed to extend that love out there, that is the same attitude they are going to be. They will not care for anyone at school. They will be fighting each one. They will be stealing. They will be doing all kinds of behavior because they are not nurtured.
So Rona, as a school, do you think, what should we do? Should we first handle the child, sort it out, or should we actually invite the parent first?
You cannot talk to the child and handle as a school until you talk to the parent and they give you a go ahead.
Awesome.
This is the kind of education that the kind of education system or schools that we have. You don't have a right to talk to someone's child without the teacher's whether the parents' consent. So if you
But what
notice
if the child
anything,
just comes and tells you, know what is happening, teacher Rona, this is what is happening, this is what is happening, mommy is saying this and that. Do you first sort the child or you first call the
you
parent?
cannot even sort that child without talking to the parent. By the way, our school systems have changed so much. Where you also, as a teacher, have to protect yourself.
Yourself, yes.
Huh? And the school has to protect itself, because if you mess as a teacher and you interfere into family business of which you are not hired to do,
It can
it
backfire on
will
you.
backfire on you much as you are just rendering a helping hand to this little one. Because you might say just a little one, she'll take home, and then the parent hears that, and then lo and behold, fire comes. How could you talk to my child about this and that? I'm protecting
it
my
your
child.
place?
Was it your place? So you have to involve all parties. The school must be. You tell the school administration what you have noticed as a teacher in the child. Then the school will take the initiative to call the parent to come and discuss that issue. If the parent allows, then you allow the school counselor or whoever is responsible for that kind of help and guiding a child to take over that responsibility. Otherwise, we have to work together.
So
We have
parents,
to work
but
together.
parents, that means we need to allow, because sometimes you find children trust their teachers even more than us.
Yeah, they will
So
tell
we
you.
need to allow the teachers to help
They will tell
whenever
you
they
so
can
much.
help.
You can only do so little as a teacher right now in the Uganda of today. Parents and their children, they will warn you. You don't know where I got my child from. You don't have a right to protect my child. They're learning bad behavior from school because of what you thought you're helping in just turned out to be another problem. So it has to be open.
Have you ever had a scenario where actually talking helped the children that are being exposed? Like you talk to a child and they feel better or they get better.
Yeah, sometimes your talking has to be in a certain direction where you're not pointing at their parents at all, but pointing at the learner themselves. You just engage them of how do you see yourself in future? What do you want to become? But these grades might not push you there. I'm requesting that we work hard to improve in this and this and this area, so that way you get what I mean. I know things might not be okay, but your future has to stand. You talk to them, and yes, you see some results, but of course, when they go back to the toxic home, they will come back the next day, back to square one. So that talking has to continue. Fiona, it is real. We have not even gone deep into this, but it is real that we are handling children who even know more than we know as as parents.
It's just amazing that when you look at it, parents, I still come back to the question of, as parents,
Yes.
what can we do? Because one of the things I've realized is, first of all, we have lost our circle of trust, even around us as
Even in
parents.
the family,
You have
sister and
nowhere to
brother,
send
aunties
your
and
thing.
uncles,
We even
yes.
fear the uncles.
Yes.
So what are we going to do about that? Because one of the things that we can, if you can't talk to the parent, the best thing would be talk to the auntie maybe. If I know Auntie Rona can talk to King, I'm like, you know what, maybe let me give her a call or something. What do we do? Because already we don't have those people. I don't know, maybe I'm speaking for myself, but we don't. We don't have people who speak actually into the lives of our children. So how do we help? Because already if we are the ones causing this, we cannot be the ones repairing sometimes. So how do we handle that part?
I don't know, Fiona, how everyone is going to handle it, but I believe there are different workshops for children. There are different organizations that organize workshops for boys, trainings for girls, especially during the holidays. If you look at what they're going to be sharing, maybe in a week's stay, and you think it's going to help your child, sometimes it's important to invest in your child, and they go for those workshops. There is a lot that they can learn from there that you're not able to teach them. Allowing the children to go for those workshops, engaging them in co-curricular activities, because sometimes when they're so just absorbed into what they're going through. But when they go out there, maybe they love soccer, allow them to play. Talk to that
They
soccer
release,
coach.
yes.
Talk to that soccer coach. Oh, he's not well, but please talk to him. Involve people wisely. You might not want to open up and say that I'm coming from this kind of house where everything is falling apart, but you're going to find a wise way of talking to children. If they love music, and make them enter into the school, the music thing, so they can sing it off and then love them. Tell them, talk to them as parents that I know we are going through a difficult time,
That is a
but
good
it is
one.
going to end. I know we have hurt you, but it's not intentional. We love you. Dad and mom, okay, we need to know that as you two are fighting, you all have to bring it down to the children to make them aware that you have had
This
some.
fight is ours.
It is not part,
It's
you're not
not
part of
yours,
it. Please don't be absorbed. We love you. We're trying to iron out things, and I know that sooner or later we're going to be happy again. But we need to resolve this. Please don't be part of it, and then try to resolve it away from them.
That's true.
As much as you
I like what you've said. Instead of saying it's your father causing it, by the way, it's your mother causing it, the issue is it is our fight.
Yes.
It is not
Your
about
fight.
you. And I think that is actually beautiful. And it reminds me of a child who came also sometime and saying, my parents, mom is going to divorce dad. What did I do?
Exactly.
Because I think it is within us as, okay, not me as child, I'm also a child.
Within us as
With,
children.
yes, to actually think it's your fault. Like, so the first thing they do is, I like
What
what, you've
have I
said,
done?
yes,
What
because they
did I
usually go to, I must be the reason why they are fighting, even
Well,
when they
sometimes-
don't know.
Sometimes it's their reason. Everyone wants to show that they love that child so much, and they feel it. They know that I'm the reason. Okay, let's talk of parents who are, they just fathered one child, or they have one child between them, and then they're living separate married. Okay, they're not staying together. But each time he's saying, give me my child, give me my child. Of course, the child will know that the fight is about them.
And that is so sad. There's one person who was telling me a story of parents kept fighting about the child, and the child actually said, you know what, I'm the issue, and the child actually committed suicide.
It's possible because
So-
of that depression.
He's like, I am actually causing you people to
Yeah,
fight.
they get
Why then if I get away, you guys will actually have nothing to fight. And parents, that's what we're actually causing our children to go through. So I like what you said. Take it away from the child, and
And let
this
them
is our
know.
fight.
Especially if they're aware that you've been fighting, let them know that it's true. We have really put you into a difficult situation, but it's not intentional and it's not directed to you. We are trying to solve things, but please don't take it on you, because dad and mom love you, so that they know they are assured of that love. They'll not go out there looking for love. Otherwise, your children might fall in wrong hands, trying to get that gap bridged. Yeah.
And it just keeps, okay, I keep thinking, how do we come from people who love each other to people who can't stand each other? No, like, it's something that actually puzzles me, and I
Yeah.
keep asking my husband, how do we get from this, we are
Very
loving
loving.
each other, we are having a child together, like, we are planning
Calling
out
each other
things
names.
together, to actually, to the point where we can't control ourselves, we are,
There was something that I was listening to a video, yes, where they say that people can be moving smoothly together, holding hands until another voice comes in. So the other voice that is coming in, what is it saying? It could be a person telling you more about your husband, maybe from work he behaves differently. It could be another person telling you about your wife. Before you know, people who are actually sorting things together, you start looking at each other with this eye of, I can't trust you anymore. Maybe it's money issue. Maybe it is what, and before we know it, we are involving the children in it, and they realize, if you know, there was a family where a boys totally turned into another thing up to today because of the family breaking. They failed to go to the university. They went to the university, but somehow they adopted to different things, and as we speak, their future is totally ruined. It's only God that can bring it back. Right now, they are adults, but adults that see no future because of what happened when they were seeing, when they were watching. It takes a lot of grace. It takes God to help this child to get back into the purpose that God created them to fulfill after the parents have shattered it down. You get what I mean? We scatter them, we shatter them, because they're the ones who speak life in our children's lives. We are the ones to speak life life. We are the ones to encourage them, we are the ones to show them the way, we are the ones to correct them. But imagine if the one who is supposed to correct needs to be corrected.
He's unbreaking it.
That is what we suffer. It comes back to school, and then as educators we fail, because even the parents accuse the educators for being the ones that are failing the children, instead of working together to see that actually the children get what they're supposed to be getting out of school.
Wow, interesting. Sylvie, for our parents out there, actually parents, I think we even, I think I lost my thought at some point. What would be your concluding remarks to the parents out there?
Parents, what I want you to know is that we are only stewards. God gave us these children as little angels for us to guide in the way that He purposed them to grow or to become. So it is not you, these children don't belong to you. These are God's little angels, God's little ambassadors. You don't have the right to scatter and disorganize them. Let us go back to the Bible and follow it and see what is it telling us to do as parents in nurturing our children. Sit with them, read the Bible, pray with them, show them the importance of, the importance of following God's word and guidance. That is the only way we can bring them back, because we shall talk and talk and talk, but if they get the Bible and read it, even people who are not in church actually follow that Bible for wisdom, for knowledge, and for understanding, for correction. Whatever we need is in there. You cannot raise that child alone. Before, it was the community's responsibility to raise a child.
No,
But right now,
there's no
every
community.
parent believes that they can do it alone, and you cannot. You're only a human. You need help. So seek all the help that you need in case you're wounded. Get someone that can help you walk with that child in the right path and the right direction. Trust someone with what you're going through so that they can see how to help your child, to see that the future of the child is not destroyed. Otherwise, don't allow your hands and your words and your actions to be the ones to scatter that little one's future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sylvia, and thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much, our viewers. As you've heard for yourselves, people, whatever we do at home reflects in the children and their education. So let us be mindful of how we are taking care of our children. Let's be mindful of how we are conflicting. Let us not involve the children, and let us try to see that we can be as amicable as possible. But also, if the worst comes to the worst, please make sure that children know that they are loved, protected, and safe. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Fiona Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries.